Francis Ngannou has absolutely no chance of winning against Tyson Fury. He's gonna get knocked out cold, absolutely destroyed by the Gypsy King. Look, I have nothing against Ngannou. Francis Ngannou has a terrific story, a Cinderella story almost, right? Where he came from nothing, rags to riches. Literally, he came up and became the world heavyweight champion in the UFC. That's a feat that no one can take away from him. But, you see, he's going into the realm of the Gypsy King. There is a throne, and that throne belongs only to one king, and that is Tyson Fury himself. Tyson Fury is 33 and 0, undefeated in 33 fights, and they weren't just against bums neither. They was against a lot of world champions. Vladimir Klitschko, who reigned for a decade before he beat him, took him to Dusseldorf, Germany, in his hometown, and beat the champion. Wilder, Deontay Wilder, the hardest hitting heavyweight of arguably all time, but definitely of our generation, knocked him out in the third fight, having a trilogy, and he fought him in America. He knocked out the greatest knockout artist of our generation. That's what Tyson Fury can do. People say that he can't punch, he's just this and that. Trust me, that guy has got dynamite in his hands, and don't let his size fool you neither. Because just because he's big doesn't mean he can't move. He's slick too, he's fast. And that's the most amazing thing about Tyson Fury, is that even though he's the biggest heavyweight we've ever seen, or one of the biggest heavyweights we've ever seen, he moves like a lightweight. His footwork, his head movement, jabs, it's lightning. So we're gonna be looking at the tail of the tape. Tyson Fury with 34 fights in boxing, 33 coming by victories, and only one draw, which I've mentioned before, which was the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder first fight, which I believe he won, and many of the boxing pundits also believe that he has won. 24 KOs for Tyson Fury. Obviously, Ngannou is completely fresh, so he's 0-0-0-0, nothing. Clean slate, right? No experience whatsoever in boxing, professional anyhow. 33 and 0, 24 KOs with for Tyson Fury. So 33 and 0, 1 draw, 24 knockouts. Boxing 220 rounds. This ain't sparring. This is live events, boxing, professional fights on the biggest stages. He's 6'9", with Ngannou being 6'4". But Tyson Fury uses his height well. He leans with it, leans back, and leans on you too. So he's definitely going to be the bigger man on that night. He might not be the stronger man in the night, but he'll definitely be the bigger man, and he'll definitely be able to use that to his advantage. And the reach also shows, with his reach being 85 and Ngannou's being 83. It's not much of a difference. And this is one of the things that most people are undermining. It's the age difference. You would think that Tyson Fury is older, but he's only actually 34. So in boxing terms, that's really when he's at his peak, 33 to 36, right? Whereas Ngannou is 36, he's towards the tail end of his career. And mind you, he didn't fully train boxing until recently, because he's obviously a mixed martial artist. He's been focusing on many different games, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and different techniques. But boxing entirely, even though that's where he wanted, and that's his dreams from the beginning, he just wanted to box. But to fully dedicate yourself just to boxing, learning the techniques, which goes to show when he's been training with Tyson, he actually said that if I just had an ounce of Tyson's technique, I'll be the greatest boxer of this generation, which is true. But you see, power and speed won't get you to the top of this game. You have to have a lot of technique, a lot of skills, boxing IQ, and that comes with experience. And that's just something that Ngannou doesn't have compared to Tyson Fury, which he's been doing it his whole life, and that adds to something. He's been dedicated himself to boxing and solely boxing. So whenever we have crossover fights with MMA and boxing, yeah, you're gonna have to have an immense talent to overcome those things. But even if you are the greatest, natural born fighter, boxer, it's gonna be difficult to beat an actual purebred boxer who's been doing it their whole life, and the amateurs and building experience throughout their whole life. It's gonna be difficult. I feel like one of the most surprising things of this fight is going to be that most people will be shocked that Tyson Fury will actually have a harder punch than Francis Ngannou. I know that's controversial, and I know people's going to be up in arms in the comment section saying Francis Ngannou hits harder, this and that. But you have to understand, MMA striking is completely different than boxing striking. Now, naturally, you look at Ngannou and his prowess, he's an absolute beast. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he hits hard. But you see, the way boxers use the whole entire body to commit to a punch, to engage a punch, is completely different mechanics, punch mechanics, than you would a MMA striker. Because they have to worry about kicks, and years of experience will also program their body to punch in a certain way where you're not going to be completely neglecting your legs and every other factors of the game, like wrestling. In boxing, you don't have to worry about any of that. That means you can utilize all your assets, your legs, your footwork, to fully engage in delivering just one thing, and that's a power punch. And that's what most people are neglecting. And that Tyson Fury, especially once you get tired, you go back to your default. And Francis Ngannou's default striking will be MMA type of striking. And eventually they'll come to a point in a fight where they get tired, and Ngannou will just be throwing arm punches, right? Because he's relied so much on that power, he's going to lose all the boxing technique that he's learnt over the last couple of months. And he's just going to revert himself into the default of just throwing wildly like you would in MMA, which you will get away with it in MMA because defensively, there's many different things that another fighter has to focus on, so you can actually catch him better with your striking. Whereas in boxing, all you have to worry about is the punches. Defensively, they're more intact. The defense in boxing is better in terms of defending the hands than you would have in MMA, and Tyson Fury has mastered that. Slick shots, heavy movements, blocking it just very last minute, just inches away, just bringing his hands up or just parrying it. Whereas Ngannou just doesn't have that experience to use or capitalize upon the boxing defense. Philly shell, cross guard, and I actually saw in the media day workout, Tyson Fury was using the cross guard, and that's an amazing guard. It's actually one of the most advanced, and I would say I use it a lot as well. I would say it's the best because it's the strongest guard because it's a cross, right? So one here and dislocated shoulder, can't lift it up that high yet, but it's one here and then the other coming across this way, and it actually blocks it efficiently. So if this is the best use for power punches, and one of the most notorious users of this is actually George Foreman. George Foreman, one of the greatest and biggest puncher of all time as well. He actually utilizes this technique a lot, the cross guard. And this is perfect for heavy punches because typically heavier punches don't hit that fast. So it's thumping, like, but if it hits you, you're out, right? Kind of like Ernie Shavers. Those type of hits is George Foreman. They're slow, but once it hits you or if it catches you, you're going down, right? Those type of punches. So cross guard, because you know it's going to be placed in one place only, so they're not fast enough to go anywhere else. So just put it in that one place and it will deflect it, it will block it efficiently, because you're using essentially your elbows, and this is the best way and the strongest part of your hand in terms of blocking. Because a lot of people, when you do a high guard, their fists are here, but the fist, you see, is flexible. No matter how much you try to tense that up, it's still going to be, it's not much, defense, right? But if you use your elbows, right, and your whole forearm, that's the strongest part of your defense. And what you do with a cross guard is you actually use one and then two, so it's like a bulletproof shield. That's what it's like, and he's using that, and I feel like that's going to be the best defense against Francis Ngannou. But the problem with cross guards is that it leaves your body exploited. It leaves it vulnerable. And that's another danger for Tyson Fury, is that Francis Ngannou might catch you in the body. Because, yeah, Tyson Fury has great head movement, but when he does his head movement, he leaves his body very exposed. And that can be detrimental to him, because if he gets caught with one of those body punches, especially from a guy that hits as hard as Ngannou, I feel like he'll go down. Because the body's just one of those things that you just can't train. The chin, sometimes people are, you can't train the chin neither, but sometimes people are born with tough granite chin. Or you have people that will just never go down. But if you hit him in the body, the liver, especially the liver shot, or the solar plexus, I mean, the body shuts down just as quickly for everyone. The pain, it goes through everyone. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson Fury goes down from a body shot, right? Because Ngannou, he can catch him in the body. I feel like if he has any other chance of catching Tyson Fury, I would say it would be from a body shot. Because the head, yeah, don't get me wrong, he can still catch him with a headshot if Tyson gets, complacent and if he gets comfortable. But it's going to be very hard to catch someone that's always moving his head. Tyson Fury's head movement is impeccable. His timing is tremendous. That's one of the things that comes with experience. He knows he's not just moving his head erratically. He's moving it perfectly, timely. He's doing it in a point where he just needs to move it a tiny inch and it's gone. You won't catch him. Or just move his face to the right just so that you miss his chin. And that's comes with experience. So if Francis Ngannou wants to knock out Tyson Fury, it will have to be with a body shot. And that's the best way to actually catch him. Because Tyson Fury might run around and and this is another thing with Tyson. There's actually an interview where he said it was before his fights with I think it was an Otto Wallin fight, and a few fights before that where people was criticizing him of like why he wasn't performing to his best, and he said that once the challenge isn't there, he gets complacent and he doesn't perform to the best of his ability. And this could be his downfall for this fight, because he might just be taking this easy. Mentally, it's just, once you've been fighting your whole life and you have so much experience, I feel like Tyson Fury is kind of being lulled by Ngannou in this fight, because he's underestimating, like, this guy, he may be able to punch, but he can't possibly beat me. No, in no way. And that's how it should be, right? In no other sport can a complete amateur, a complete beginner with no previous record just come into a sport and dominate a champion. It's not happening in golf, it's not happening in tennis, basketball, nothing. It's not happening. But he has to be aware that this is boxing. This isn't any other sport. You don't play this game. And that there is always that danger of that puncher's chance. And that's Ngannou's key to winning this fight. He can't box Tyson Fury. He can't be thinking like a boxer. He has to think like a fighter. He has to think like make it dirty and they go inside. Like, kind of like Otto Wallin did, right? Where he made it dirty. He went on the inside and kind of roughed up Tyson Fury. Look, you're going to be stronger than this guy, so you have to do that. But another danger of doing so would be that you might run out of gas, because boxing tank is a completely different than an MMA tank. That means your endurance and your stamina has to be implemented wisely to not, waste your energy so quickly. And that if you do so, I mean, the boxing ring, especially with Tyson Fury, is a difficult place to be tied in. He's going to make you pay. So don't get tired. Be wise with your energy, exertion, and your punch placement. Overall, I would say Tyson Fury is the harder hitter than the two, because the punch mechanics is that Tyson Fury fully commits to his punches. He fully engages those straight right hands. If you look at his body, the way he turns his whole body with every single punch, whether that be a left hook or a jab. Well, obviously he uses different techniques, so sometimes he jabs, like he spams it, just quick, flick jabs was what they call it. but he knows also how to turn his whole body to generate that power jab and that right hand. So I would say that Tyson Fury hits harder than Francis Ngannou, and we will see that on the night. I'm not talking about naturally just one punch KO. I still feel Ngannou has that, but when you look at the technique and you consider how big Tyson Fury is, he's 6'9". He's 6'9". He uses that whole height and weight to his leverage, and then fully connects that. That's heavy. And Tyson Fury is gonna lean on Ngannou this whole fight as well, tire him out, put his whole body. Kind of know what he did to Deontay Wilder, but Ngannou has stronger legs, so he may be able to carry him. But even though he has stronger legs, they're still gonna tire a man out, especially in duration of I don't know how many rounds it is, but I assume it's a 12-round fight. But anyway, it doesn't matter. After the 6th round, he's gonna be tired. So to end it all, my fight predictions: I'm predicting a Tyson Fury knockout win on the 7th round. He'll tire him out, gas him out until he has nothing, and in the 7th round he's gonna unleash a flurry and catch him with this nice straight right hand over the top, and down goes Ngannou. But on the upset prediction, if anything were to happen to Tyson Fury, it would be a body punch or a liver shot, even a few broken ribs, knockout. So it'll be a body shot knockout by Ngannou. If there is any upset victory, it would be that. So hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, don't forget to subscribe and make this channel grow. Let's go!